If you practice this for 1 minute a day, you will hit every club longer and much straighter. In this video, I'm going to explain why so many golfers at the moment are losing accuracy as well as distance. Then we'll dive into what the simple move is you should be practicing for just 1 minute a day, how to add this into the full swing, and as a bonus tip, we're going to be discussing how this works for the irons and the driver. And this is all simply to do with getting the club working into the slot during your golf swing. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Harry, a golf swing specialist, posting content like this every single week to help you improve your golf swing. So be sure to click that subscribe button and turn the bell icon to all so you don't miss out on any uploads I bring out to the channel every single week. Now, for returning viewers as well as new viewers, I'm happy to announce that I have finally published my free course management starter guide ebook. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, it's a simple guide to help you manage your way around a golf course. Gives you par 3 tips, par 4 tips, par 5 tips. I'll leave that in the link down in the description below for you to take a look at. Now let's dive straight into the video. So golfers are currently losing distance and accuracy because of two reasons that fall into the same cause. The first one is poor contact, either getting the ground first or thinning the golf ball, not great at all. And the second one is all to do with the way you are probably creating club head speed in your golf swing inefficiently, where the arms and the body would have the tendency to get disconnected and work too much against each other rather than together. So if you were to film yourself on video, you would probably see your golf swing on the way back where you'd see quite a lot of disconnection taking place between your trail arm and the body. What this then encourages is the body and the arms to work in opposites against each other, and from there it makes it very difficult to time the golf shot. And as you can see just from that one there, really not the best of strikes, nowhere near down the middle. That's probably way off OB. With a 5-iron, that's not great at all. And that brings us into simply talking about the move. Now, this is where I want to introduce a brand new training aid, brand new device that just makes what I'm about to show you so much easier. You can practice this without it, and I'll show you how to. Like I said, I'm going to use this because it just allows you to feel the exact positions that you need to be in to keep the arms and the body working together. And it's called in the slot. So I'm just placing it pretty much just in line with my sternum here. Now, what we can see here is straight away is if I was just to simply grip the golf club and take my setup, my right arm, my trail arm now tucks in, snugs right up against this in the slot training aid. So you can imagine what benefits this already has to offer for your golf swing. It just makes it much easier to be able to keep that connection between the arms and the body on the way back. As long as I keep it tucked in here, I can just rotate into the backswing here. Then it allows me to really feel where that slot is on the way down. And I just simply hit golf shots like this one here. Lovely strike, lovely little bit of a draw on that one. And that isn't a fluke, by the way. I've hit 5 shots in a row just like that one. Take a look at the difference in distance on average between those 5 compared to that one I hit before. Way more distance, way more accuracy. So how can we practice this move for 1 minute a day? So when you practice this for 1 minute a day, I want you to break it down into 2 different parts. The first 30 seconds you're going to focus on is the downswing. So all I want you to do is simply make your backswing as you normally would just for the time being. And once you get the club into this position up to the top, I want you to imagine if you're not using the in the slot device here, you are trying to get your elbow to catch. Imagine there's something like a towel there that magically appears underneath your trail arm, and you're trying to catch that towel on the way down. So you can really see here from this face-on view that my trail elbow is starting to almost lead my entire arm and golf club into the slot here. Now without it, you should be able to see the arm in the exact same position as with this device. This device here, as you can see, just allows me to really get that feel and sensation of where exactly that position should be. So to start off with, if it feels more comfortable for you, practice this with you gripping the club from the middle of the shaft here, just simply rehearsing that motion on the way down, not really worrying too much about the rotation of the body just yet. Practice this with both arms on the way down here, just making sure that arm tucks into the body, gets into the slot here. Then once you get into this position here, you can simply allow your lead hip to switch on and for the rotation to take place. So combining those two moves, gripping the golf club like so, up to the top, tuck in, rotate the body. Tuck in, rotate the body. Tuck in, rotate the body. And look how easy it is for me here just to keep my arm in a really nice controlled position here all the way through. The bad miss is when we get that motion there. It's keeping it nice and tucked in. So I'm just going to practice that for 30 seconds just quickly before we dive into the backswing. And now bringing this into the backswing. How should it work from the start of the golf swing all the way up to the top of the backswing? So for those of you who aren't using this and want to try this before you learn more about this product, what you can do is make a little crease, form a little crease with your top and just place it directly underneath your arm. Key with this though is making sure that when you tuck it in, that the actual elbow faces towards the body. You don't have to worry about that with the in the slot device, but just make sure that if you don't use this, just make sure that you're tucking the arm in from the front and then it tucks in like so. And as you can see there, it's perfectly placed if you were to have the in the slot there. So I'm just gripping onto the golf club like so. And for the backswing, the first point I want you to focus on is allowing, as I mentioned earlier at the start of the video, allowing the arms and the body to work as one motion. So I've just allowed this trail arm here to stay very connected to the in the slot, just so that that forces my body to switch on earlier, and it also allows my hands and arms to stay as quiet in the takeaway as possible. The bad one is when this starts to move away and then everything starts to go all over the place, so no good there. So first part is just making sure we switch those two on at the same time, and the in the slot allows you to do that straight away. So from the top of the golf swing, how should this work? So you will feel that as you make your way into the top of the golf swing, even if you were to have that crease underneath the trail arm, you will feel that you have to move away from this device as you make your way up to the top of the golf swing. So you can see here anyway, that allows me to set the arm in a really nice position here. So for the backswing, all it is keeping the connection, then allowing the arm to gradually move up into the top of the golf swing. So practicing that for 30 seconds. Let me just show you how this works when you practice this and combine this into the all-in-one motion golf swing. So you start from the very start at the address position, make your way up to the top, practice that movement on the way down, and you simply start to build up the momentum and start to reduce the amount of time you have between the pauses, between those stages. So stage one would be takeaway. So this part here, stage two, top of the backswing. Stage three, in the slot. Stage four, adding the rotation. So you can just practice that nice and slow just to make sure you get used to the movement. And then it's just a case of gradually increasing the speed, gradually from 10% to 20% to 30%, and keep going until you hit a range of around 60 to 70%. That was nice and smooth, nice little draw, perfect, landed right on the target line. Now I don't want to come across as too salesy in this video, but I must let you know that if you are interested at all in checking out what this in the slot device has to offer, keeping the connection in your golf swing, your pitching, chipping, and also putting, I'd recommend scanning the QR code over on the right hand side of your screen right now, or going down in the description below and clicking onto the link so you can take a look at this. Because as we're in the month of November, there are going to be some exclusive offers on this device. So if you are at all keen, I'd recommend taking advantage right now. And you saw the difference before between that rubbish shot that I hit there, keeping everything disconnected, to those 5 shots that I hit on the run, and then effortlessly being able to produce another shot just like that one on the screen there. Just by simply rehearsing those steps, it just makes it much easier. So if you are at all interested, check the link out in the description below or scan the QR code over on the right-hand side of the screen. So that brings us in now to the difference between irons and how they should work for the driver. There's a tiny, tiny difference, but it's so important. And this is all to do with the way we shift our weight, transition our weight and shift it into the downswing from the backswing. So as you start to rehearse this motion in slow motion, so 10%, 20%, building this up into 60, 70% of your normal speed, what you will find is that you will feel into the backswing that you are actually rotating better because everything's staying connected. And because you're rotating better, you will be using a lot more of the ground forces. You will feel a lot more pressure taking place into your trail foot. Now the key with this, for irons in particular, because we want to be hitting down onto the golf ball, we want to allow ourselves to push forwards towards the target. That's going to help us obviously get that weight transferring onto this lead side, but most importantly for irons, to hit down on the golf ball, we want those hands staying ahead, but we also want our sternum to be ahead of the golf ball. That allows us there to get what we call the lowest part of our golf swing ahead of the golf ball. So we're getting that ball, then turf interaction consistently. And that's going to really help with both accuracy, of course, in strike, but also distance. So as I'm practicing this on the way down, all I'm going to be focused on is as I get this into the slot here, I'm allowing my weight just to shift onto this lead side. Now you can see here, I'm not exactly opening up my body. I'm not rotating my shoulders over like so. I'm simply focused on getting into the slot and shifting my weight. So technically speaking, a good checkpoint is making sure that your back continues to face towards the target, just like this here. And from there you can rotate, and that's going to allow you to really compress the golf ball. Now that was a little bit to the left there because I did feel myself let go of this in the slot device on the way through, and I just caused that club then to over-rotate, close the face, hence why it's gone a bit too far to the left. But you can see there a much lower penetrating flight, and that was from me simply shifting my weight more forwards as I got the club and arms into the slot. So how should this work for driver? Now for driver, because we place a ball on the tee that's roughly 2 to 3 inches up in the air, the ball is effectively a lot higher, of course. Well, it is a lot higher. So from there, we don't want to be really hitting the ground. We want to be hitting more up on the golf ball, relatively so speaking. So to be able to hit more up on the golf ball, we don't want to allow for more of a shift forwards. We want to allow for more of a push upwards. Imagining you're pushing upwards as if you were to do a squat jump. So as you rotate into the backswing, you'll feel, because it's a longer, heavier club, you'll rotate more because you're keeping the connection between the arms and the body. So on the way down, because you're already loaded with the lower body here, you can allow yourself to push upwards. So I'm getting into the slot and then I'm pushing upwards as I rotate. So I'm pushing upwards and it feels like I'm mostly doing this from the lead side here. So although I'm not transferring the pressure into this lead side by shifting, I'm transferring the pressure by pressing off that point. I'm pushing off the ground from this lead side. So how this should look in a nutshell is up to the top, fully loaded, into the slot, pushing up and through. And because of the way drivers are formed, you will notice there that it looks like I'm keeping my hands way too far forwards for driver. This will naturally start to release the golf club because we're setting the club in way more reliable positions, keeping that connected golf swings. And although I did feel that one come a little bit away, a touch too early, I'll certainly take the outcome. So even if you're not 100% bang on with this, you can get away with it as long as you are focused on producing those movements. And like I said before, the in the slot is the way forward. It helps you feel this straight away. So make sure to comment down below if you'd like to see a full tutorial on how to use this device and other methods of using this device. I want to see at least 50 comments for that. I've also left the QR code on the right hand side of the screen here if you would like to learn more information about this. I would suggest if you are watching this and it's still in November, taking advantage of the exclusive offers that they have on their site. But also the links will be in the description below for both this device and also my free course management guide. And finally, if you are looking for a follow-up video from this, I'd recommend checking out the one down below, as it talks about a very simple change that you can make using your wrists that stops golfers and also myself from slicing the golf ball to hitting driver much straighter more often. So check that video out down below if you're looking for methods to help you hit driver straighter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down there.